What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wars of the Stars podcast. Oh my god, I don't remember the episode number. Oh my god, episode number 118.
118.
No. I knew it was around there. Today we got a Bad Batch episode 10, 11 review. We'll also touch on some breaking news today. They
Brian,
have
turn my fan
casted a.
off.
You're good. You're good. They've casted a female Silver Surfer for the Fantastic Four movie. We'll talk about what that possibly means. And then we'll probably also talk about the unfortunate social ramifications of that because everyone's got a bitch and moan. Uh, we'll also discuss some Daredevil stuff. Punisher. Saw Punisher. That's cool. But before we get into all the fun stuff, um, Alex, how are we doing? The first time we've done a show in back-to-back weeks in a while, I feel like.
Yeah, crazy. I've been fine. I had I had something stupid today happen. I thought I had work today, and I didn't. And I went into my job.
You went into your job.
Rest, all that. I wasted my time. That's what I did.
But that's got to be the most relieving feeling of all time, coming back home.
No. I was
Really?
pissed. I was pissed. Because I've had this happen before. The last time that this happened to me, it was not my fault. This time was purely my fault because I can't. I'm an idiot.
Bozo. Oh no.
Like I was, dude. I literally had nobody to blame but myself. I was like, oh hell no. I'm over this. I'm over
So
today
what
already.
happened? Did you go in? Were you about to clock in? Explain a little bit more.
I work at a mall, so I showed up early because I wanted to go shopping. Like I wanted to buy some figures, some anime figures. I wanted to get something to eat real quick.
Right.
I come in ready as can be, and
Smile on the face.
my manager says, "Why are you here?" I was like, what are you talking about? Why am I here? To work. He was like, you don't work today.
You had your uniform on.
Not my uniform, but I had my work clothes on. Like I can basically wear anything.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you're not on the schedule for today. And I looked at my pictures of the schedule and was like, oh, sure enough. No, I'm not. I was pissed. I was angry.
Yeah. I myself have had a pretty uneventful. I am living life. That's what I gotta say. Pretty uneventful time here. I told Alex we got a big snowstorm, so we don't have school tomorrow. It's actually our first cancellation of the year, and it's in April with a month to go. We got a month to go for me.
It's crazy because again, we were talking about it before we started. You're getting ass blasted by snow in April. I, in the state of Ohio, am getting ass blasted with hurricanes, tornadoes, all that, bro. Like, what is happening?
I know. Yeah, so I can't believe I just said it. I can't believe we have a month to go. College is weird, man. College is it's great. It's a great 4-year experience, and like from a social standpoint, and I think from an educational standpoint, you really find out a lot about yourself. I think. I mean, that's with anything in life, but I think here, it's the beginning of your adulthood in a weird way. Some take to it, some don't, but that's with anything in life. But it's just the schedule is so weird, so different than high school. High school, you're 8 to 3, and then if you're an athlete, 3:30 to 5:30, or if you work a job or any of that sort of thing. College, it's like you got class for maybe some days 1 hour. Not for me, but for some people. Some days you don't have class. Time management. You learn time management in college for sure. You have a lot of free time, and you definitely need to try to find a way to mitigate that free time. You need to book your days up by doing stuff like this, reading, doing your work, exercise. So I think that's what the good thing about this is. I don't know why I gave a whole spiel on that, but whatever. I felt like it. NCAA tournament coming down to the end on the women and men's side. Um, yeah, so that's really it for me coming into the springtime here. So yeah, I'm ready. Do we wanna get into these episodes? You have a complaint about this show as you always do. So
Dude.
let's get
That,
the.
that whoa. What's this as I always do?
You always got something to say about this show.
Look, okay.
If there are no Bad Batch haters, or if there's one Bad Batch hater, you were still alive. If there are zero, you are dead.
I correct. Look. I I really do try to like this show. I really do try. But man, oh man, does this show piss me off every episode now. Like
Right,
I get to the point where I'm literally just like, bro, why am I watching this?
right.
I feel literally as a series, I literally feel like the series is just straight up regressing.
Hmm.
And or maybe my standards for media has grown since watching anime and all these other shows.
That could be it.
Because do we remember what happened in the last episode we talked about?
Yeah, this was the one with Ventress.
Yeah, and you want to know who isn't in this episode?
Ventress?
Ventress. Do you want to know what's not explained in this episode? How Ventress is alive. It's just like we just completely were just like, oh, that happened, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
I
I
was
mean, but
just like,
that's always been. But that's I want to defend. I'm gonna push back a little bit on your points here. That's how this has always been, though. Even with Rebels, even with Clone Wars, it's always been serialized stories, right? It's not. It doesn't gotta explain everything necessarily. Uh,
but
and I
but
think
but
you would agree with that. You would agree with that.
absolutely. But something that big,
Something that
it's
drastic, sure, sure. But then again, a lot of people didn't know that she was dead. So like we can have this
but I knew she was.
right. So did I.
I knew she
But
was
what about
dead.
me? What about me, bro? Why me?
Screw you. Read the books, I guess.
Yeah. I get it. I get it for sure. But continue. Your point.
I don't know. I just was just like, I wasn't expecting like a full answer, but like I was kind of hoping for
So you
something.
were expecting Ventress to appear on one of these two episodes.
Yes, I thought that's
Okay.
why we were getting a back-to-back episode.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna like get it. I thought we were gonna get something.
Thought we were gonna get it. Eat it.
And then we got nothing, and I was just like, dude, what? I was just like, literally, what was the point of these episodes? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna say these episodes were like, oh,
Whoa. I mean, they were
so
very important.
they were very important. They actually finally explain like the point of the season. But like now
Sure.
what I mean in terms of like I feel like the show is regressing. We are literally back basically to square one.
Yeah. Right.
Now Omega is back with the Empire again. It's like what's the point? Like, yeah, obviously circumstances are different. She willingly went there this time. The Bad Batch just lost the Marauder, all that. But it's just like, bro, it's just like I feel like we could have gotten to Tantus in a different way. I feel like this is just lazy. I feel like we're just like I feel like the poor animators at Disney were like, hold on, guys, we didn't get enough use out of our Tantus assets. Just bring Omega back.
So, you know what I was thinking about while watching this episode?
What's that?
So I was thinking about season 2, episode 6 of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I'm thinking a lot about the tragedy. This is literally carbon copy not carbon copy, but a copy.
Basically,
Like I'm like, oh, the Marauder blew up. Because the first, when you see something devastating happen to especially in a franchise that's so vast and has a plethora of source material as Star Wars does, you always are shocked when it's something new, something different, right?
mhm,
Jin and Cassian's death and a Rogue One. We know
yeah,
what's happening, but it was still shocking, right? All those deaths were still shock invoking. When the Razor Crest blows up in that episode, I still
mhm.
remember my reaction.
Jaw dropping.
My jaw was on the floor, and then Grogu gets captured, and I'm like, this is
Mhm.
like the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
This is
worst.
like terrible.
Yeah, the worst wombo combo ever.
Then it happened here, and I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, the crosshair thing's interesting. We'll get into that, but I'm just like,
Mm,
okay. You
yeah.
just again the show again. We've had this problem with the show since its inception.
Mm,
Lone Cub is taken on by Lonely Man. Again, the show has
mhm.
devolved into more than that, as has the Mandalorian
Yeah.
itself. But that the premise was it follows the same
I
trajectory.
like identical. Yeah, and to me, and I think you just hit the nail, and it literally just clicked in my mind. Star Wars right now, until something like the Acolyte or something new comes out, Star Wars feels creatively bankrupt right now.
It has a identity crisis.
Yes,
Episode 10 hits it on the head.
it's like the show doesn't know what it wants to do. Or not
Right.
even the show. The franchise doesn't know.
Yes.
It's like
A lot of
it's like
nostalgia bait.
yeah, it's like how are we going from like the Mandalorian season 2 to this show? I
Right.
would even argue like
Just anything we've gotten since then, I would argue, even
yeah, it's
besides
just
Andor.
it's and again, it's I want to like also say this. I don't think that the show is bad. It's just it's unoriginal. It's
Yeah.
unoriginal. This is
Right.
straight up the Mandalorian, the animated series.
Yeah, it's a continuation of. You might as well when you when we all how Marvel will group projects together and call it the multiversal saga or phase one.
Yeah.
You might as well call this this is phase one or part one of the Necromancer
Like
saga.
honestly, yeah, you might as well just group the Bad Batch in with the Mandoverse
Just be
because it's so
watch
integral to it.
watch the Bad Batch, watch the Mandalorian, Ahsoka,
Mhm.
and Episode 9. That's what this is kind of. That's what it is, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not mentioned in the originals, not mentioned in the prequels.
I mean,
So, again, and I don't have a problem with the idea of again, that's the other thing. Was this show I have questions is this show also created to just explain a plot point in episode 9 that I could have just been okay, it was boring, unoriginal, let's move on.
yeah.
Instead of you trying to explain it.
I mean,
So,
yeah. That's kind of my other problem is it's just like I question what the point of the show is because
Necromancer's cool. Again, it's a whole cool
yeah,
premise.
because to me my whole thing is this is if you wanted us to get to this point where we actually find out that this show is important to the story of Star Wars, like you're doing a really bad job in my opinion of conveying that because you know you're really teetering tottering on some very harsh lines of lore breaking stuff right now. I'm one to defend most of Star Wars and say people who say X, Y, and Z is lore breaking when it isn't. This series is becoming lore breaking to me. Like it's one of those things that they kind of talked about how cloning clones basically couldn't become force sensitive because they're literally replicas of somebody.
Right.
And now we have Omega. She is literally the solution to Palpatine's problem.
Yep. The solution.
And so, number one, this spoils the show because we obviously know that they're going to win in the end because we know Palpatine doesn't succeed because of his failed Strandcast attempts. So now the stakes feel so low for the show.
Right.
Because even if Hunter, Crosshair, Echo, and Wrecker die, Omega doesn't. She doesn't like she most likely won't get captured. So again, right then and there, you've already established the stakes of your show are so borderline low that you don't have to worry.
Right.
And again, the show has had this problem since the beginning, but sorry, that's my bad. The show's had this problem since the beginning. This is not the Bad Batch. This is center character with the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And this show, like season 2, I feel like did a pretty good job where they tried to give everybody a little bit of time in the limelight. Season 3 has done nothing for anyone but Crosshair and Omega.
Right.
Like even Hunter feels like such an afterthought in this show now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how do we go from like Hunter literally being the focal point of season 1 to being a side character in the 3rd season?
Yeah. And then one of the members is dead, and then which is I'm fine with. I think that works. Presumably dead. And Echo is just he just left, which is still so funny to me.
Dude, it's to me like I can already see it. I can already see Tech being alive. I can just see it now.
I think he's the X2, CX2 or whatever the hell they call him.
I think when Hemlock is like making, I guess, a new soldier, I think all the DNA that he's taking from is Crosshair. Or fuck, I keep calling him Crosshair. Tech.
So you don't think this?
What?
You don't think this one that we see is Tech?
One of them is going to be him. Like they are doing so much of reminding you about Tech that you're just like, dude, this is the worst Chekhov's gun ever. He's alive. And I'm telling you right now,
it's dumb.
Because I've been working on this like Google spreadsheet of all of these series and all that I've been watching. When this plot line gets brought up of a main character's supposed death, and then it turns out that they weren't dead, you're losing so many points.
Right.
So many points. Because again, I compared this to food. Don't play with the food. Just let me eat the food or take the shit away.
Right.
I'm just gonna get pissed off and annoyed if you keep toying around like I'm a little doggy with a treat in my face. I'm eventually just not gonna care anymore.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is notorious for it. Obviously, it just comes with the territory. I mean, we could have. God, you need like 80 hands to count the amount of people that were thought dead and then turn out to be alive.
It's everyone now. Besides me.
Listen. There's not even the rule of if you're not dead unless we see a body, you're not dead.
You're literally just not dead.
You're just not dead. You have a good 20% chance to come back.
Yeah, I would say higher.
They'll figure it out. Like I guarantee. What do you think is the chances we could see like a Darth Vader reincarnation?
I think that one's not good.
Oh, come on. Why not? They reincarnated Ventress. And they can take...
How would they do that?
Look, the same way they did Ventress. They just weren't playing it. He's just back.
Could you imagine that?
Dude, the internet would... The Twitter would riot. Is
Vader back?
Vader back, LOL. He's the main bad guy of Rey's movie. I have one more in me.
Yeah. No, I agree with all the points you're making. I want to get into. I do want to be a little bit positive here. Objectively positive, I would say. I think the episodes look beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it still did. I still was enough on the edge of my seat enough where I was like, okay, this is intriguing. This is interesting. I thought the Crosshair and Omega interaction at the end of episode 11 was really intriguing.
Mm.
Kind of coming full circle. Crosshair, who was very protective of Omega this season, was trying to instill those values of leadership, understanding your role and when to take over. And Omega took over in a moment where she needed to take over and made a sacrifice play. And Crosshair let it happen, trusted Omega, and bro airballed.
Yeah. Bro, airballed hard.
Bro hairballed. Not clutch. He doesn't have the clutch gene in him. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And then episode 10, we didn't focus on any of the main characters really, but was
Which
a
was,
very,
yeah.
very intriguing episode.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, what is the chick's name? Emery.
Yeah.
Very intriguing episode. Her struggling with Omega being gone, but also the ethical nature of what's going on with these force sensitive kids.
Mm.
Um, and can we talk about the famous Duro himself
I
with
know. Caddy Daddy Bane is back, baby.
the toothpick in his mouth.
Mm.
By the way, fuck Toto. Still, I can't stand that motherfucker. I cannot stand him.
Disrespectful. He's my king.
You like Toto?
Yeah, he's funny.
He is funny, but I don't like him. Thoughts on seeing the CAD back to his old job,
I'm
picking up
always excited. Always excited to see Cad Bane.
kids. A little hark back to a season 2 episode. Oh, that's out of Jesus.
You just gotta just paint his ship white at this point.
Oh yeah,
And put free candy on the side,
yeah.
and you'll be complete.
He did this in a Clone Wars episode.
Yeah.
He's doing it again.
Cad Bane stealing them children 24/7. That's his only gig that he's good for.
For Palpatine, yeah. Yeah.
Because
It was
God
cool to
forbid
see.
he kills somebody.
That was the most cameo of cameos. That was literally just a cameo. That literally just like, let's put Cad Bane in this. Could have
Yeah.
literally just been random bounty hunter.
Yeah. God forbid Cad Bane actually have to like do the bounty hunting part of his job. Kidnapping kids though, bro's a pro.
It's like when people say they're first responders. It's like, no, I called you. I called you. No, you weren't the first one here. It's like that poor dude called them. I was like straight up like, yo, this is the kid here. Straight up doing some weird stuff.
Bro was a whole
right.
Karen. Bro had to call the cops.
By the way, cool creature design on that kid. I don't think it was like a pig wolf mix.
You know what? I was just thinking about the kids. I remember the scene where the kid was trying to escape.
Right.
In the episode. And then they showed like the statistics of the kids. His weakest stat was his speed. Yeah, and Orbesh, they like broke down like their like stats, what like they're good and all that. Bro's weakest stat was his speed, and we saw it. Bro couldn't escape.
That's so funny that it was speed.
But yeah, I think what this show is doing good is this Emery check. Because we're starting to see some what? What's so
I just
funny
love the way he said it.
Look, I like that there is like
this
a little bit of like
Emery, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, like, I like that we're actually starting to see, like, bro is always just like, hey guys, I think we're going too
I
far.
think this is sus.
Yeah, just a bit. And then the rest of the empire is like, no, it's not.
Like
You're
Hemlock's
just
just like
weird.
straight up, they're subjects. They're just subjects. Don't worry about it.
they're just subjects. Can you just like do your job? Question
Right.
mark.
By the way, Hemlock's such a good villain.
I know this show. I've been so surprised with how good it gets villains.
He's just venom. Oh my god! I'm just gonna
What was the guy from season 1?
Admiral Rampart.
Rampart. Oh my
Rampart.
god, I forgot his
Nah.
name.
He was alright. He was alright.
No, he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. He's just like kind of Tarkin-ish, Tarkin-esque.
Bro, also Tarkin, he's the number one op for any person in the Empire who has an idea. You got an idea?
Except his
Well,
own.
okay, but you might take away from my funding, so your idea is bad.
By the way, they should literally. Let's talk about this. I know again, space opera, whatever, not real. Let's talk about like how the Empire should have all the money.
Yeah, I don't understand where this is coming from. That they are literally the government and they have no money.
Imagine. Let's make an analogy. So right, the United States governs the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if tomorrow the United States governed the whole world, as the United States was the world.
Yeah.
It's not like the Empire just has one planet. It literally governs the entire galaxy. It is the governing body of governing bodies.
Yep.
Taxation, like there's no force. I mean, they're imperialistic. They are fascistic in nature. Like they can exploit. Like they should have all the money. Like there is no reason.
Yeah.
Like they should not be calling the bank up at all. Like they're not calling up the bank.
Palpatine's calling them up. He's calling the banks. Hey guys, I need a loan for $80 trillion to build.
I can't tell you that.
I can't tell you what, but I need to build something. It's going to cost an estimated 80 trillion credits. Oh no, sorry, we don't have money. Like I think it's hilarious because it has been, oh my god, it has been since 2015 when we found out that Tarkin was like the head person for the Death Star in Rebels.
Right.
It has been ever since that point. Bro was up in everything. He pops up in everything and be like, sorry, but my project needs the money.
Bro was all in. He was like, I'm all in on this.
Yes.
Mind you, his thing took 20 years.
20 years and got blown up like a day or two after it was operational.
Right. It partially destroyed a planet and then got blown up. It killed like...
Yeah, I'm saying he partially blew up Scarif, then blew up Alderaan, and then just got blown up.
Oh, Jeddah too.
Oh, and Jeddah too, yeah.
It did some damage.
Some did. Yeah, well, we'll say it did half to Scarif, half to Jeddah. So we got 2 planets in total.
Yeah, and let's say, but it did not. It did not make profit. It did not. It was not made for buck.
And then could you imagine having to be Palpatine calling the bank back and being like, we don't need the $80 billion anymore.
No, it's just like we need it again.
Yeah, actually, can you give me $60 billion? We're going for the incomplete look, or 60 trillion. We're going for the incomplete look this time.
3/4 done.
Yeah, 3/4.
No, it's just funny to me. Tarkin every single time, and his out of like the 3 things, his is the worst objectively.
Yes. Literally, like, dude. Could you?
Thrawn's TIE fighter is like
a game changer. Could you imagine if the Empire had that during the Battle of Yavin?
Hyperspace, right? They could go into hyperspace.
Hyperspace,
they were faster.
Shields, faster, better guns, all that. And then, literally, oh my god.
Project Necromancer, where you could literally clone a Force-sensitive person. Yeah. And mind you, how does, like, I understand Palpatine is, like, doing this for kind of his own benefit. Not fully the Empire's, but partially the Empire's, right? Because Palpatine at this time was spreading propaganda about the Empire lasting forever
Yeah.
with him in charge, right? Why wouldn't Tarkin? Obviously, Tarkin wouldn't know. But why, when Tarkin was told that this was a Palpatine secret project, why wouldn't he just be like, cool, you get the money?
Because he wants to take credit for it.
Does he also run the money? I think he's the money guy.
He's the money guy, but he keeps needing to call the bank asking for money. He's calling himself. He's doing this. He's straight up doing this. Calling and picking up with the other phone. He's, hello, I need money. How much do you need? About 100 trillion. No, we don't got that much. Well, damn. Give me it anyways. Sorry, we don't got that. I'm done with you. That's Tarkin, basically.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about the money thing, and why wouldn't Palpatine be Palpatine? I mean, I just don't get why.
I don't know.
Because isn't he pretty loyal to Palps?
He
Very
is.
loyal to Palpatine.
Very.
He hated Vader. Vader was the one he really didn't like.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah, but no, Hemlock, fantastic villain, menacing, calculating, kind of what I needed Moff Gideon to be more of at points.
Yeah, he feels like a less cool version of Thrawn, but
right.
But I feel like he's
where
different
is that blue
than
boy?
Thrawn still.
Where is that blue boy right now? Is he still a part of the Chiss?
I think he's either just joining the Empire around this time, or he's still with the Chiss.
Right. Pabu was destroyed. Is that the planet's name?
Yeah.
Cool planet. I love that cool shot planet. of the ship coming over, and then the gunships flying down. The gunships still make a great noise. Wrecker gets hurt. Cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude. How many episodes are left of this fucking season?
4.
Dude?
There are 4 episodes left of the series.
Jesus Christ.
So what happens? They'll get Omega back.
Well, yeah, I assume they're going to be separated for at least 2 episodes, and then the last episodes are going to be about destroying Tantus.
Do we get the Clone Rebellion? I don't think we're going to get that, Alex.
No, I don't think we do either.
There's a lot of variables. Like who is? I'm convinced it's Tech. I really am.
I literally have I swear to God, I think we're either going to get we're going to get Winter Soldiered, or we're going to get Merrick.
I'm leaning toward what I'm leaning towards is it's not Tech. But I also think that might be me in denial, being like, hey, I don't want it to be Tech because that would be stupid. And if it's Tech, I'll be very mad on this. I think it's just lazy.
Yeah. Because look, okay, so
we already converted a member back.
Yeah, it's just, again, you see what I mean? If it does go to Tech,
there are 2 options you have. You either bring him back or you kill him, and we have to watch him die again. And it does not have the same feel.
So here's my thing. Okay, so I think I've talked to you about my Google spreadsheet for rating.
Right. We've talked a little bit about this. Yes.
Right now, the Bad Batch. I'm currently working on rating the series.
Okay.
It is quite literally sitting at a 60% right now.
Ooh, that's rough.
A really, really rough first season, a really, really rough third season, a really, really good second season. It's again. Do you know what this show reminds me of? It's obviously better than the show. It reminds me of Secret Invasion. It reminds me of it in the sense that, remember how all the times you're saying these episodes are good, but they're just together a mess.
Yes.
This show
as a narrative, yes.
Episode by episode wise, the episodes are really good. They're probably some of the best animation storytelling that we have in Star Wars.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you think that's the way it's released, or do you think that's just how
all
it
of
is?
I think it's all of it. I think just The best, if I could describe this show in one word, is disjointed.
Yeah.
I just feel like the show wants to go one way, but then it goes in three other ways.
Right.
And I feel like it makes it just bad. I literally, again, I wish they would have done something like how Invincible did it. Just straight up release it in quarters and take like a 2 week break in between quarters
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
releases.
I think 4 episodes at a time would be a lot better.
Because again, we're going from going like 2 episode release, 1 episode release, 2 episode release. And the story just feels like it's just going like this the entire time.
Yeah. You
It's
get
like
some
it's
really
never
high
just a
highs and really
straight,
low
yeah.
lows.
Like again, storytelling wise, the series is great. Just
Yes. The
connectivity
music,
wise,
the Garner brothers, like great.
yeah,
Like it's
music's
just
amazing. It's again, how are we gonna go from just randomly resurrecting a character to now we're back at square one? Like, how are we making these jumps in story?
yeah. I don't know. Can I ask, would you feel better about some of these things if you knew, like if we had announcements
Mhm.
that there was going to be a continuation of this era, some of these lingering questions in other animation mediums, such as Asajj, we could kind of
Hold on,
assume
give me
that's
one
going to
second.
happen. Yeah. Uh, I was going to ask a question about: would you feel better if we knew there was going to be a continuation of the story, not necessarily with these characters, but with adjacent characters that have been in this universe, Rex, Asajj. I still think Crimson Dawn has something to play
Okay, I'm
with
back.
Maul and stuff. I was just talking about how I think I would feel better about some of the story stuff if I knew there was going to be a continuation of it in different mediums. Maybe not necessarily with these characters, but with adjacent characters like Rex, Asajj, even Crimson Dawn
But
and Maul. Would you have felt better if we knew for sure that we were getting other animated stories that would continue this story?
no,
Okay.
because you know what this makes this show? You know what this makes this show? Filler.
I wouldn't necessarily call it filler, but I would say that it
Ooh, my neck.
didn't do what we originally. I would say, from what they indicated and what we originally conceived, it didn't do that. It didn't.
Let me give you a comparison because there is
Okay.
actually a really good comparison.
Okay, go ahead.
So one of the other medias I'm into is Call of Duty Zombies, right? So in Zombies, it had a story from Call of Duty World at War to Black Ops 2, and then we got a new story in Black Ops, the end of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3.
Okay.
In Call of Duty Zombies, there's this thing called the Great War, and it was this point that we were supposed to go back to at the end of Black Ops 3. We didn't end up doing that. They ended up delaying it for Black Ops 4. And so Black Ops 4 was supposed to have this big Great War map that we were supposed to all have so much fun and see the beginning of the story. That never happened. Instead, what happened is we got all these random stories that nobody wanted and a news story that nobody wanted. And so what ended up happening is we all then thought, well, then the next Zombies game was going to be the Great War. And then they scrapped it entirely. So the Bad Batch is trying to set us up that this is this big story, and then it went off and branched off and created new stuff, meaning that the show never did what it was supposed to do. So it's just a filler show.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's what like Black Ops 4 is called by Zombies fans. It's a filler game because it was meant to do something and it just kept pushing what it was meant to do back. And then it just said, fuck this, we're not doing that anymore. We're just doing something else.
We talked about this a lot. This makes me think. We talked about this a lot around the time of the Mandalorian, when we said Din should be the leader of Mandalore. And I still think me and you hold that sentiment.
Yes, it made no sense for Poe to become the leader
because sometimes, believe it or not, the most obvious choice is the best choice.
Yep.
The most obvious choice here with this show was to have a final destination for the clones. a continuation of the Clone Wars, but a true ending to that, a true emergence of the uprising of the Empire, true telling of where Rex is, and kind of a setup of this Omega character that you can use in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten Rex, but we're not going to get that answered because Wolf's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Code like this. There's a lot of there's 4 episodes left. Okay, let's think about this. Ventress, there's still Ventress out there. We don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Boba Fett never showed up in this show. Boba Fett,
Never.
the original clone, the quite literally the closest identical thing to Omega.
Yeah. Well, apart from
Emery.
Emery.
Cody.
Wolf, Gregor,
Wolf.
the rest of the commando clones, like Scorch
Right.
and all them. Gunji. Like all of these just open threads. That is why, so far, at least in my whole show rating of this show, I'm straight up calling it a filler show. It's a show that it was clear that the show wanted to go one way and then just kept pushing it back and pushing stuff back.
Right.
And then they just had to pivot and do something else. The story of season 2, I don't know. I was under the impression, I feel like maybe you were too, I felt like Omega wasn't supposed to get brought back to the batch so soon.
Maybe not.
I feel like maybe it was supposed to be a thing that season 3 was all about getting back to Omega. I could even see this being the case. I feel like there was supposed to be a 4th season. I feel like there was supposed to be a 4th season where the original season 3 was about getting Omega from Tantus, and then season 4 is the latter half of this season. And they just kind of
I feel like that would
have.
I feel like that would have been a drag.
And I feel like it would have been, and it would have added to the show being a filler show even more. But that's what I literally feel happened. And I think that's how I feel about this season. This season feels like it's doing too much in too long of time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we'll go episodes of nothing happening, and then so much happens in 2 episodes.
Right.
So much of nothing, so much of something.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's why I feel like maybe there was meant to be a 4th season.
Yeah, it's very difficult to set stuff. The Ventress one is interesting. It's very difficult to set something like that up with Omega. 6 episodes before the finale of the show.
It's just
I don't know. It's a very weird show. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. It's enjoyable, but I truthfully still at the end hope that when the show ends, this is the end for this story. But it's not going to be. It needs to be the end of the story.
Like again, it's just I feel like if you are going to go down the route that you want to give Ventress her own show and Rex his own show, fine. You shouldn't have done
that
it
originally.
You should have just done that. And you shouldn't have sacrificed 3 years of our lives watching this show, creating these big concepts to the lore of Star Wars.
And we already know what happens with the biggest one, Necromancer. It has to go away. It has to not work.
Basically, yeah. And you create a show about something that the audience already knows fails. So, again, you create no stakes, and you create something that, again, by definition, the show wasn't meant to exist.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's why I'm saying, like, shows like Clone Wars and shows like Rebels and shows like Ahsoka and all that, I don't call those shows filler because there's important things happening that you could tell that Star Wars maybe wanted to go down this path at some point. Yeah. I don't think Lucasfilm wanted a Bad Batch show. I think they maybe saw some popularity from the arc in season 7 and they spun it off into just something random.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business, right? I mean, they wanted
Yeah.
to capitalize off of the fact that Clone Wars is an immensely popular show. I mean, for the
Hmm.
longest time when it was on Netflix, it was the
Yeah.
most popular
Oh yeah.
show. And on Disney Plus, I still think it probably is. I think we
Oh yeah.
wanted to look at the numbers. Um, yeah, I mean, look at the boys. I mean, Gen V was obviously cool and a cool spinoff, but we're gonna get the boys Mexico. Like that's
Mm,
now we're getting too much, right? It's just that whole thing, the overabundance of content,
yeah.
especially recently. Uh, do you want to rate these episodes? I'm gonna give them both an 8 out of 10. I think they're both really good. I really
Yeah.
think they're both really good, but it's just
Mm,
I we've already had our thoughts about the show for 2 seasons, so it's gonna be kind of hard to move the pendulum in a way where I think it's better than Clone Wars. I think it might. I again, I'm not a huge fan of Rebels, so I might
mm,
like this better than Rebels. But again, this has more of a connection to the Clone Wars, so that
yeah.
could be heightening the score.
Mm,
But I just think, and again, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not a child. This show is made for kids
mm,
after all.
yeah.
So I mean,
And
yeah,
yeah, and I'll say I rate these both 7 out of 10s. I want to say this because I know there's gonna be some thoughts about this. Filler doesn't equal bad.
yeah,
So I want that to be the thing. Filler does not auto equal bad. It's when filler is used like how this show is. Because again, you're giving me a whole freaking show that you wasted 2 seasons of nothing
right,
just to let us know Omega is like somewhat important.
yeah,
Actually, not somewhat, very important.
very important.
And do you want to know what we're gonna get about nothing? Because we know the
Nothing.
show goes wrong. That's why I'm saying that the show is filler because we already know how the story ends.
Right,
So you're just kind of filling in gaps to let us know that it's not gonna work.
right.
That's
Okay.
your
Let's move in now. We got some Marvel news finally.
finally.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. The Fantastic Four, which is coming out, is it coming out next year?
Think so.
Right, next year. Uh, Julia Garner will join Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four movie as Shalla-Bal, a version of Silver Surfer. This is the female Silver Surfer. This is coming to us from Deadline. Let me get the article up. I won't read the whole thing, but yeah, this is an exclusive. Um, yeah, she is set to play. I don't know what she's in. She's an Emmy winner, which is awesome. July of 25, it's coming out. Um, yeah. So this is interesting, Alex. We kind of suspected, it's been rumored for a while that this film was going to feature Galactus, was going to feature some heralds of Galactus. We didn't know who. We didn't know if it was Silver Surfer or other heralds of Galactus. And it seemingly is set in the 60s and presumably, in my opinion, not in the main timeline, but the main
No,
universe.
they already basically said it's in another universe.
Did they? Am I
Yeah,
missing something?
I don't remember where I saw it. Hold on.
Uh, Thoughts on this? I'm sure the internet's not too happy. I haven't checked.
No, I'm sure everybody's so happy because the internet has no reason to ever be upset at this kind
To
of
be
news.
upset about anything, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All
The upcoming Fantastic Four reboot will reside in an alternate universe apart from Earth 616.
Where is this from? Who said this?
Daniel Rittman.
Uh, RPK is okay. That's okay.
Hey, bro has
He
some
knows some
stuff.
people. He knows some people. He's gotten some stuff right. We'll see. It could be educated speculation, but yeah. Rickman's kind of a beta. Can't lie. Some of his stuff, but we all are. Yeah, I'm whatever. I'm cool with this. I'm not a huge again. People know I'm not a huge comic guy, so like I don't know much about the female version of Silver Surfer. Um, if the story works, the story works. Again, Silver
Mm,
Surfer to me is a cool villain on its own. Um, but obviously, I'm more interested in what it leads to with Galactus.
yeah.
Obviously, presumably being in this film now. And Julia Garner, I think, is very talented. I know she's a. It said in the article she's an upper rising star. I would agree with that. Um,
Mm.
Alex, give me your thoughts on this. Uh, what are just your gut your gut and reaction to all of this? Just everything.
I mean, it's. I'm gonna have to see it before I can make any like. I don't like it or anything. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like an odd choice to go with female Silver Surfer. Not saying it's a bad choice.
I'm
Hey,
canceling
okay,
you.
okay, Kyle, you're done.
I'm
You're done.
canceling you.
I'm saying odd choice, but we've never seen it. So I can't
Right.
say it's bad. I can't say it's bad.
You can't say it's bad. You could say it's different.
I can say it's different, but it's not bad yet. Um, ugh. But yeah, I don't know.
So, a follow-up question.
Okay.
Do you think having this a female Silver Surfer is obviously going to cause outrage from a certain group of people? Do you think it's going to affect the movie eventually? Like from a box office standpoint, I mean.
No,
Thank you. Okay.
it's the vocal minority. Nobody gives a
Yeah,
shit
it's just
what these
loud
fucking
people
rednecks.
online.
Nobody gives a shit what these rednecks on Twitter think.
Nobody thinks about what either of the sides. It's just what's so nice about I've really stepped away a lot from social media. I try to. When you actually talk to people in the real world and you talk about their ideas, just about anything, politics, just general life. God damn it, people are loud. Um, you get to know more about the people.
Mm-hmm.
You just get to know more about their ideas and what they actually think. And again, online, it's mostly people who are sad, depressed, who are chronically online, sad, depressed, lonely, angry people
Yeah.
who just spew bullshit all day long and have no purpose, no worth. People who are off it generally have more purpose and worth. I'm making generalizations here. But I don't have a problem at all with a female playing Silver Surfer. It's a different character. It might
Yeah.
be cool. It might be unique. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait until we stop talking about actors who are in the film and actually can talk
Yeah.
about the film.
Agree.
Um, yeah, so that's our thoughts on that. We'll touch on one more thing here before we get out of here. Look at this. Look at this picture. I mean, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at
Pretty
that
good.
picture right there. I mean, are we back? That's my question to you, Alex. As I keep this photo up.
We're back, and then we're gonna get something not up to these standards, and we're not back.
I think we're back, dude. You can't mess this up.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. We all
You
see that.
cannot mess this up. You cannot mess up Frank Castle and Matt Murdock. You cannot mess it up.
I was gonna try and show you that Daredevil preview because we actually got to see Charlie Cox in the suit.
Oh, okay. Like, okay.
But I can't find it. Let me check the good old Twitter, see if they got.
I'm very excited. Obviously, we've seen some stuff.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'll share your screen. We'll show this. Now, where is this from exactly?
This was officially shared.
Officially shared. Okay.
It's literally like a 2-second GIF.
Was this at like like a Disney event or something like that, or?
I don't know where the. There it is.
Okay.
is literally this. This is all we see.
Oh shit.
He's got a little bit of a bloody face,
Are those red
red,
eyes?
bright red eyes.
How do we
It
feel
looks
about that?
it looks like his suit is a mix of his She-Hulk suit and his Daredevil season 3 suit.
Okay. Good
And like
observation.
you
Alex, the
already
costume guy.
you already see people are excited. But yeah, it looks like it. It looks like they did a nice combination and they gave him something unique.
Yes.
Bro is bloodied up. I'm gonna give an early prediction. This is after a fight with Punisher.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That would be fun, Alex. That would be fun.
That is my guess. Oh,
That's sick. You look so dope. It also looks different and unique.
yes.
Again, the eyes are always iconic, but like the red,
Mm,
we really haven't seen it because we have we even seen the a Batman with white eyes in live action? I don't think we have.
maybe I guess technically Ben Affleck.
Doesn't Affleck do it?
Hold on.
Affleck does it, right? I was just gonna say.
Let me see. No. I thought we did for some reason. No.
Okay, so this is unique. I like it.
Yes, I think it actually looks pretty sick.
Yeah. Thoughts on Punisher seemingly having a prominent role. We've seen some stuff that alluded to him being there. It was alluded to. There was filming some stuff with White Tiger, and people thought he killed White Tiger. That's not the case.
Yeah.
What do you think about Punisher being back? Back, baby.
I'm more than okay with it. You know, I'm okay with him being not necessarily the star, but you know, I'm fine with him being a nice little centerpiece.
Yeah. No, I
More
agree
than
with
okay
that
with that.
totally. Really cool. Again, I love how just I know we live in a very leak culture. We like to spread stuff before shows come out, but I think it's so cool
Mhm.
that they're filming outside. You get to actually see it. And
Yeah,
again, I think things with set photos, it's a little different to me because it's not really what it's going to look like when you see it
yeah.
on television. So I mean, I love it. I'm excited. Uh, I assume he's after Karen Page still, but
Yeah.
we'll see. And then there was also a set photo I saw with the I don't know what they're calling it, but it's like the anti-vigilante uh team because
Think
of
so.
Wilson Fisk proposing that
Yeah.
ban on vigilantes, which is cool. It is all coming to fruition, my friend. It is all coming to fruition. Do you have any closing thoughts on this?
I'm excited. Somebody else is clearly excited.
Yeah,
Um,
they are very excited about the Punisher.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Daredevil Born Again is just still I still feel like it's such a slept on series, man. I
it's being slapped on, man.
I know it's
I
you
feel
know
like I'm gonna
what?
be born again.
I feel you don't know what I feel like? I feel like the two series that I'm most excited for are literally the two series that are just either not talked about or getting stupid shit said about them. That's the Acolyte and Daredevil.
Yes.
Like they're by far and about out of like apart from like if we're containing to the two series that we mostly talk about, they are by far and about out of anything, movies, anything, series, my two most anticipated.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Like I don't know if they're doing 3 a.m. releases for these shows. Like they're
I,
stay up till 3 a.m. kind of shows.
yeah, they'll stay up at 3 a.m. for sure. Alrighty. Well, I got nothing else to talk about. By the way, how do we feel? I had a ad at the beginning of a Disney Plus thing the other day.
Mhm. Are you paying for the ad tier or the ad free tier?
Ad free.
Oh well, yeah. Oh wait, what?
No, I think it
Free?
wasn't an. I don't know if I got it. Like it was. It was at the beginning of the episode though.
Like what do you mean?
I don't know. Was it an ad? Or no, it might have just been the new logo thing,
Yeah, I've seen so many people
which is
giving.
pissing me off.
I've seen so many people give shit to the new Disney Plus logo when it looks literally the exact same.
It's the same, just a lighter
It's
color.
green. It's greenish.
Because the combination with Hulu.
Yes. Oh my god. And people are literally saying top 5 worst logos of all time.
That's
It's the
the same
same
thing.
logo.
It's the same
It's
logo.
just
It's
green.
actually crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
How are you going to say something is the worst when it's literally just Disney and Plus?
Right. I 100% agree with you. All right. Let's wrap this thing up. As always, thank you for watching this episode of Wars in the Stars podcast. Talked about the Bad Batch. Talked about a female Silver Surfer and Punisher and Daredevil. As always, may the Force be with you, and may you stay burdened with glorious purpose. And we will see you in a couple of weeks for Bad Batch episode 12 and 13 reviews. See you then. Peace.